New technology introduced in the fight against crime. The Port Authority stepping up its beautification efforts. And plans announced for the 2018 New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Megan Shepard. It's so great to have you joining us. Topping news tonight, the Royal Bahamas Police Force taking steps to improve its crime fighting efforts. A new initiative was launched in the Northern Bahamas today, and as Sabrina Brown reports, it is designed to improve the overall operations within the force.
Police in Grand Bahama and Abaco are now equipped with body cameras. Deputy Commissioner in charge of Grand Bahama and the Northern Region, Emerick Seymour, says they will outfit as many officers as possible with the devices during this initial testing phase.
Improve the high quality of policing and of the policing services that is expected by members of the public. Improvement of the services. It strengthened the officers' performance and accountability. Enhances the police force's transparency, and of course it documents encounters between the police and the public. It also help us investigate and resolve complaints and officers involved incidents, and so it's a win-win for everyone.
Seymour says this new system will play a vital role in helping the force to ensure that officers do not abuse their power.
What this camera does, therefore, is add to what we have in place, in that it records all of the officer's activities from the time he would have reported for duty to the time he gets off. And then, of course, so that at the end of the day, his activities, his duties during the course of that particular shift is transparent. Anything that would have happened, anything that would have occurred will be actually recorded. And of course, at the end of the day, if we need to go back and of course look at the activities of the officer, we have the record for it.
Grand Bahamas Police Chief assures that officers will not be able to alter any video or information that is captured on the body cameras.
The mechanism is built so that the officers cannot, and I repeat, cannot go and erase any activities that would have happened during the course of his shift, and so we are happy to report that this then is an enhancement of our resources, an enhancement of the services we provide members of the public, and members of the public can rest assured that the police department will continue to be of the best possible service to them.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Police in Grand Bahama investigating an industrial accident that occurred at a business establishment on Queens Highway yesterday afternoon that left a 23-year-old male up Bishop Drive dead. Deputy Commissioner of Police Emerick Seymour on this latest incident.
An employee at one of the local businesses would have received some injuries during while he was employed. Injuries he sustained, and of course he was taken to the Ram Memorial Hospital, seen by a doctor who examined him and of course treated him. Unfortunately, he succumbed to the injuries he sustained and received. And so our detectives are on the ground right now trying to backtrack to see exactly what transpired. And of course, we'll be able to come to you at a later date to give you more further details on the matter.
Seymour also giving an update on the progress of investigations surrounding that badly decomposed body found over a week ago in the Lucaya area.
Yeah, pretty satisfied as to where we are with the investigation. We've employed all of our investigative capabilities, all our investigative resources. As you can very well imagine, it's an unfortunate situation, but we've had several persons in custody who we were speaking to, but at this stage, unfortunately, we are unable to make a further determination. But I can assure you, and of course, can assure members of the public, that the police is doing everything within its power at the moment to determine the circumstances surrounding the discovery.
Now, while Yvette Green remains missing, Seymour says he could not confirm if the body is that of Green, as an identification has not yet been made. A man and a woman were arrested and hauled before the court on charges of possession of materials for forging notes. Alfonso Heald, age 57 years, of Lewis Yard, and Shireen DaCosta, age 29 years, of Jamaica, were arraigned before Magistrate Rangan Johnson in Magistrate Court Number 3 and both pled not guilty. Alfonso Heald was also arraigned on abatement to possess materials for forging notes. He pled not guilty. They were both remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until Thursday, February 8th, for trial. The Grand Bahama Port Authority and stakeholders taking a big step toward the overall goal of cleaning up the city of abandoned vehicles. After issuing a warning to owners several weeks ago, this morning they sprang into action on Drake Avenue in Freeport. Kimberly Mullings reports.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority launched a project to address the vexing issue of abandoned and derelict vehicles throughout the city of Freeport. Assistant City Manager in the Building Department, Ronaldo Carayoyu, says special attention will be focused on those parked on the road's verge.
For a number of years, we've noticed vehicles in various states of disrepair that are causing environmental as well as quality of life concerns. They're not safe for the community, and as a result of that, we have launched an initiative to remove those vehicles in conjunction with Kent Motors and Urban Renewal.
In some cases, the Port Authority is relying on the community to report the derelict vehicles, but for the most part, their inspectors are going out in various subdivisions in the city. Carayoyu says this is a phased approach to the removal of the vehicles, the first one taking place in Subdivision E, Section 1, on Drake Avenue, and they plan to remove more in another week or so.
To date, we have tagged over 50 vehicles, 24 of which have been removed, and there are 26 that are remaining. Those 24 that were removed as a result of the individuals removing them and placing them on their property.
The Assistant City Manager says going forward, the rules will change.
If a vehicle is in a state of immobility for more than 7 days, we'll place this violation card on it, giving the owner 7 days to remove. After which, we will place a second notice on it, giving an additional 21 days. This is in concert with a public service ad that is placed in the local papers.
After a total of 28 days, and because of the environmental concerns caused by the derelict vehicles, they will be removed and crushed. ASP Gregory Lockhart, Police Coordinator for Urban Development and Community Policing on Grand Bahama, says police are in full support of the port's initiative and are assisting them with their efforts of seeking out these vehicles.
We advise the general public to get on board. And remember now, cleanliness is always next to godliness. And these derelict vehicles, they sometimes tend to harbor rodents. Vagrants sleep in these vehicles, and persons who are always up to no good and criminal activities, they are in and about these derelict vehicles.
If the owner of a derelict or abandoned vehicle is unable to remove it due to financial constraint, please contact the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Building Department for assistance. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
A new slate of officers are now at the helm of the Grand Bahama Junkanoo Committee. As the peak of the Junkanoo season approaches, an executive on that committee is announcing new initiatives geared toward the growth and development of the country's premier cultural event. The new Grand Bahama Junkanoo Committee working feverishly to bring changes to Junkanoo on Grand Bahama. Co-chair Mark Gardner says that the committee has been charged with the task of presenting an extraordinary Junkanoo season and that members are working on new initiatives to enhance the New Year's Day parade.
You'll see a difference in marketing the event, which would be more palatable for persons who aren't necessarily Junkanooers, okay? And one of the things we're trying to do with the parade is shorten it. So, because after the first lap, most people will get up and they leave. But if we can guarantee you, we're trying, if we can guarantee you that at 1 a.m., this thing can be over, more than likely people will stay to the end of the parade. So we're trying to put some stop gap measures in place to stop the gaps and to speed the parade up a bit.
Gardner, who is an avid Junkanooer, says he believes that there is good public support, but more financial support is necessary.
The support for Junkanoo had been fading a bit, and we can say because of the economy in Grand Bahama, persons weren't able to readily invest into Junkanoo as they had done before, or may not have seen the mileage for their investment being turned around in marketing. That's why I said to you, as far as even marketing the event, we want to change some things there that will regain the confidence of the public to invest in Junkanoo. Now, as far as the cultural experience itself, I think every Bahamian, just about every Bahamian, loves the sound of the drums, the cowbells, the whistle, and the movement, the poetry in motion. I don't think we have a disadvantage there.
Monique Leary of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, adding that they are also working to expand public knowledge of what it takes to put on a parade, especially among young people.
And we're going to be introducing with even junior judges, trying to get a young person to come in and understand what Junkanoo really is and judging Junkanoo. Because as you know, this year the committee had to reach out for new judges. And so we can get a lot of our young persons to come on board to basically learn the behind scenes of how a Junkanoo program is managed, as well as the front part of it, which is the costuming and parading, as well as the managing of the marshals and helping with the logistics of the parade. People show up but don't realize what goes on behind the scenes to put on a production such as Junkanoo.
The 2018 New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade will be in honor of Junkanoo legend, the late Ken Motorboat Ferguson. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight's Northern Edition continues in just a moment.